Y'all killing me with this.
She's such a small town girl. Like, even though she's famous now, she still has such a small town girl vibe that she kind of seems like it would be very easy to take advantage of her in a Hollywood sense of the word. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be easy to take advantage of her into maybe signing a deal that would benefit maybe you more than it would benefit her. And like, nobody's kind of taken into consideration that she hasn't even really settled into her fame yet. And I'm not defending this chick. Like, I want to see her penniless, goddamn. I want to see her actually having a hawk to her to make money, because I've seen so much of her. I'm done with it. Okay. But what I will always point out is when these podcasters and comedians are being skeevy as shit. And Whitney Cummings is one of them. So right out the rip, Whitney is very much trying to leech off of this chick. And you can tell just by the way that they're talking to each other and the way that Whitney's going about things. Watch.
What do you think this is? Like, on a bigger picture, were you just chosen by God to be a star?
Oh, yeah, he picked me, most definitely. Because this just don't happen to anybody.
No.
Especially small town people like me. I mean, I was just an ordinary girl. I'm still an ordinary girl. You know that song by Hamilton? Just an ordinary girl. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Okay, let's clip that. We're making that a bop. That's going to be a single.
See what I'm talking about? Like, the desperation that Whitney has in her voice, it's kind of unsettling. Like, this is why I say that Whitney's trying to leech off of her right out the rip. This girl said 2 words to make herself famous. Hawk Tuah. That's it. She didn't demonstrate any type of like talents online. Shit, we haven't even seen her spit on a dick. We haven't even actually seen her spit on a dick. So, like, I understand why she's famous. Why it's a viral sensation thing. But the point that I'm getting at here is people like Whitney Cummings have no reason to sit there and go, "That's a bop." This girl and to suck this girl's ass like that. There's no reason for that yet. She hasn't proven that she's good at anything. Like, legitimately, she has not proven it. So, to be this enthusiastic about her, it kind of, to me, says one thing. It says that you're trying to get something out of her. And it's very apparent to me that that's the case with Whitney right after she tries to tell this bitch that she should do stand-up. Like, this shit was crazy to me.
Of it.
I think you should do stand-up, and I think we need to, like, figure out what you want to talk about.
Okay.
I think it'd be interesting to go, like,
Okay.
I'm known as this. I'm known as Hawk Tuah girl, but there's so much else to me. Like, that's what I'm trying to get to. Is like,
See, this is crazy because this girl, like, you can even see in the girl's reaction, as soon as Whitney says it, you could tell the girl's, like, legitimately never even had a thought about that. She's like, okay, I guess I could try it. I guess I could try it just to give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? And so to have that, like, you just pulled this thought out of nowhere and you want to try to get this girl to do stand-up with you because you want to attach her name to your flyers. And to me, that is some skeevy shit. Because you just want to use this chick to try to sell tickets on whatever bullshit tour you got going on. Because you barely know this chick. She probably would be the worst. Like, there are actual stand-ups who are actually funny who would kill to have that opportunity. And instead, you want to give it to somebody who's never even thought about stepping on stage in the first place. That kind of shit to me is fucking stupid. And it shows how skeevy these fucking celebrities are. Like, I very much view Whitney as like a celebrity before a comic because she's not funny. She's more of like a Hollywood producer type to me. You know what I mean? But to watch her actually try to, like, pull one over on this chick fucking blows my mind.
and I think we need to, like, figure out what you want to talk about.
Okay.
I think it's
See, look, she don't even care. She's like, okay, I guess I could give it a shot. Like, that's
interesting to go,
fucking
like,
wild.
I'm known as this. I'm known as Hawk Tuah girl, but there's so much else to me. Like, that's what I'm trying to get to. Is
Yeah.
like, there's so much else to me. This was just my entry into the world, but this is like who I am. What was
What
your
kind of
plan
ideas you
before
got?
this happened? Like, what was your, like, here's what I'm going to do for the next 10 years?
I really couldn't even tell you. I was content in my little factory job. I really was. It wasn't nothing bad. It wasn't.
See what I'm talking about? Like this chick legit, like that's how fast she got famous. This girl's like, I never even thought about what I could possibly even do other than my small town. I worked in the spring factory. I was making springs for the bay. Like, you know what I mean? She hasn't put thought into it. And every podcast she gets on, they're like, you should do this. You should do this with me. You should have a show on my network. You should. Everybody trying to leech off of this chick. It's fucking unsettling. Like I said, not to defend her, but like, it's crazy. This girl has stepped foot in Hollywood for all of fucking 10 minutes. And everyone's fucking yanking at her already. It's like fucking disturbing. And you would think like, oh, maybe that was just like a one-off. Like Whitney just brought it up and it's whatever. She obviously the girl's talking about it like she's never thought about it before. So maybe they just like let it go and talk about some other stuff, right? Wrong. Whitney keeps pushing the fucking stand-up. Watch this shit.
Got it.
Inches past their knees.
This
Hoochie
is,
daddy
this
shorts.
is like what Russian gymnastics coaches wear.
Yeah.
You really have to have nice legs for this to work.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I feel like if you're going to do stand-up, this is a good area. Like to just talk about like.
What the fuck?
See, this is what I'm talking about here. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. So now this girl is they're on a topic to give a little context of what they were talking about prior. They were talking about like what they find hot in guys, right? So now Hayliey Welch is this girl's name. I'll stop calling her Hawk Tua. So now Hayliey is like, I really like it when guys wear the hoochie daddy. The hoochie daddy shorts. You know the hoochie daddy shorts? And she goes, no, what's the hoochie daddy shorts? She's go, you know them shorts that they go like 5 inches past the guy's knees? You know, them hoochie daddy shorts. So instead of just being like, oh, okay, now I think that guys are hot when they do this. Right away, Whitney's like, okay, perfect. Now she's got the wheels turning. She even does her hair back a little bit. She goes, all right, this is the angle that we can play for your stand-up. I think that this is the direction we can take it. But once again, this girl is putting zero thought into it. Like, she doesn't give a fuck. She does not give a fuck about that. This bitch, she's a small town girl, god damn it. She don't care. And Whitney just keeps pushing the shit. Like, it's fucking crazy, bro. And watch how desperate for attention she is online. Like, I hate when people do this kind of stuff. Watch this.
I'm telling you, never hold a microphone like this. You will get a Photoshop of it being a giant dick with veins.
That is just that is just so fucking desperate to me. Like, for her to be okay, she grabs the mic, she goes, you never grab the mic like this because you're gonna get dicks put in. Everyone's gonna put dicks in it. And she's grabbing the mic like that and staring right into the camera like, please, will somebody online edit some dicks into this photo so that I can get another round of clout online, please? Can somebody please edit that together? You know, she's like screaming for the attention. And it's obvious that something's going on where she wants to turn this into something that's going to benefit her, rather than to try to give this girl who just became famous a platform to try to help her out in her career. Whitney only cares about what this girl could possibly do for her. And once again, with all this stand-up suggestions and stuff like that, it's just a little much. And they get to the point to where like Whitney's like, hey, do you have any celebrity crushes? And she mentions Matt Rife. And Whitney knows Matt Rife personally, so she FaceTimes him. Now, this girl is like hot for Matt Rife. I'm talking fucking hot, goddammit. Real fired up. So the last thing she wants is to be like embarrassed in front of Matt Rife, right? And that's exactly what happens when Whitney brings up the fact that she wants to get this girl into stand-up, which Matt completely knows is a shitty idea.
You want to come? So we're working on a stand-up for her to do to open for me when I perform in Nashville in October.
Please don't do that to her. Don't do that to her.
See, right there, goddammit. Matt Rife, who is well established in the public eye, is not funny when it comes to anything but crowd work. He already knows that. He's like, don't do that shit. What are you, fucking crazy? You don't even know anything about this girl. She could get on stage and have a mental breakdown and fuck your whole setup. Who knows? She could get on stage and have a mental breakdown and you could end up fucking her whole life up. You really don't know. This girl, you have no idea yet. She seems to be handling the fame and all that stuff pretty well, but who knows, man? Who the fuck knows? I thought this was funny because this is going to kind of transition. This is our last time code for Whitney Cummings, Good For You, and then we're going to check out Club Random with Bill Maher. And this is a good transition into this. So Whitney, when she does these, for her Patreon listeners, they get to watch the podcast live, right? So they could actually ask questions about the guests and everything like that right there on the spot. And sometimes they'll edit in those questions into the episode for the free guys like me who watch on YouTube, god damn it. And one of the questions she got was, has Bobby Lee DM'd you yet? And I thought that was funny, and I'll tell you why after we watch it.
Yeah.
Tomater.
Someone said, has Bobby Lee DM'd you yet?
Who is
Rude. He's what?
Who is that?
Bobby Lee?
Who is that?
I love that. So she right away, she's like, who the fuck is Bobby Lee? I don't even know who Bobby Lee is. This is why that's a good transition into this creepy episode that Miss Welch does with Bill Maher, is because Bobby Lee is kind of a little bit of a creep. Like, very much so. If anybody remembers that Bobby Altoff episode that they did of Bad Friends, Bobby was getting like extra creepy on that shit. He was like really hitting on Bobby the whole time. She was clearly uncomfortable as fuck with the entire thing. Like, it was to the point to where Bobby was just out of nowhere just mentioning how he wants to see her on all fours, how he wants to get pictures of her feet. He's wondering how delicious they look. He gets on his hands and knees, starts trying to kiss her toes to beg her not to leave the podcast because he probably creeped her out so much so that she's like, I got to get the fuck out of here before I get fucking raped, goddamn. So a lot of Whitney's fans know this about Bobby, and they see, okay, there's this new, young, very like impressionable girl who has no idea what to do with her fame that just hopped onto the scene. And they're wondering, hey, has Bobby taken a stab at that yet? Which I thought was very, very sus. Like, that says a lot about Bobby Lee. If, like, fans are asking that question, like, offhand. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't mention Bobby once in this episode. And for a fan to just be like, hey, has Bobby DM'd you? Like, that says a lot about the way that the fans perceive Bobby. More on that later. We're going to keep an eye on Mr. Lee. I'm going to start really watching these podcasts with Bobby on there because I got a feeling that there are going to be some real disturbing stories to come out within the next year or so. I got a real bad feeling about it.
And hold my fart like a bong rip.